Praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live on David G. Evans 1 at any smart device you might possess. Every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can join us right here for conversation, politics, sports, life, all from a kingdom biblical perspective. So glad you could join us today. Call-in numbers are 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. Of course, joining us once again, my world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith.
Good morning, sir.
I call you the Smith.
The Smith.
Not just A.
Right. The A. Smith, yep.
You all right?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well.
I see you got your morning coffee going
morning
on.
Energy, yes.
Yeah, that yes. Cup seems to get bigger the older you get.
I know.
You had a regular when you first started. Now you got more. You might as well get the large cup like Apostle Gaines had.
I can't do that much.
Right, knock it out.
That's too much. That's too much.
That's too much?
Yeah. I used to drink coffee once or twice a week.
How do you do it now?
Once or twice a day.
Do you?
Yes, every morning.
Oh, no, I'm not there.
Every morning I drink it every morning.
Although I like that bottled coffee called, I think it's called Crack. It's really good.
A bottled coffee?
Yeah, it's like slow brewed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's wonderful.
You get it just from the store right in the
get
bottle
it from
like
the
that?
store. Yeah, it's right from the store. It comes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
You're dark and smooth, dark and
it's working now.
slightly sweet, that kind of thing.
Oh, sorry. We got caught up. Sorry.
You got chastised on air?
Yeah, sorry about
Man.
That's how they do you, man.
Wow. They get comfortable around you. They just say anything
Right,
to
just
you,
say
right?
Whatever. Just did it.
Wow. Could at least wait till the commercial break. Tell you off, man. Chastise him on national broadcast here.
Something starts. I guess James would hit something or somebody clicked something and it's back on. So it's working now.
So, very, very, very interesting week.
Mm-hmm. Very, to say the least. Yeah.
I saw Reverend Paula White said something controversial again about, and I'm paraphrasing, when she speaks and when she walks in the White House, Jesus is speaking.
Yeah, it's on holy ground.
Holy ground. Did she say that?
It becomes holy ground
when she walks in.
It becomes holy ground.
Is she inheriting the insanity of her boss, or does she already have this?
Well, she's always been there. She's got the whole whole authority thing, and when
that's
I come
over the
in
top.
You have to really think about yourself to think that when you arrive, like all of God and the oil comes.
Well,
we have oil on us. Don't get me wrong.
I agree with you completely.
But
I counseled a pastor that check this out now.
Mm-hmm.
I counseled a pastor who would arrive at his engagements hour late, hour and 45 minutes late, and his excuse was that the people were willing to wait for the anointing to arrive.
You have to really think about it.
He said that to me sitting in my conference room.
Mm-hmm.
When I got done with that turkey, I read that boy from Amazing Grace to A Floating Opportunity. It was not good.
I know. That
he actually thought that.
Mm-hmm.
He believed it.
Yeah.
So he would purposely show up an hour or something late.
Mm-hmm. I believe we're anointed. I believe we got
Absolutely.
authority, all that stuff. And yes, a portion of God comes with us, but it's not because of us.
A lot of us think that, though.
Yeah.
A lot of us think when we arrive, the Holy Ghost wasn't there before we get there.
Right. He's here now.
It's just silly.
Yeah, it is silly.
But,
when they got saved, there was no Holy Ghost.
well, it's just. We didn't have. He didn't come back and see me anymore.
I know. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
But he shouldn't have said it to me.
I know. He probably didn't think you were gonna respond like that.
He thought I was gonna think it was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's really nice and spiritual, deep.
Yeah.
I thought it was insane.
Did he have much going on?
No.
That's probably. There you go. Yeah.
No.
Did you say Bishop?
That much? You're being generous.
That
much.
Did you watch the whole 4 or 5 minute clip that they put out on her, all the stuff she was saying?
No.
I'll send it to you. It's like 4 or 5 minutes of them splicing where she talked about
her resume.
yeah, her
right?
coming is holy ground. When you say no to Trump, it's like saying no to God. All this stuff. It's just
It's her resume.
yeah, yeah. I'll send it to you if you have this.
I've known her a
If
while.
you want to stomach it.
I've known her a while, and I didn't see all of this. Because she's a brilliant woman.
Absolutely.
And she found her niche.
Mm-hmm.
But she's bellying up to people that couldn't stand her. They called her a heretic.
Absolutely. Don't believe in women preachers. Now all of a sudden she's cool. She's a prosperity pimp. All of a sudden
She's cool again.
She's cool again, and yeah. I'm trying to. I'll send you the clip so you can watch the whole thing.
All right.
If you can stomach the whole thing.
Okay. So she got hired. I see John Conyers, longest serving black member of Congress in history, passed away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This funeral was
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Okay.
So Trump goes to speak at Benedict. Why?
Well,
I don't get this. So he came to the campus, and you're telling me the students were required to stay in their dorms
Yes.
while he was on campus?
yes.
Does that happen at any other university he visits?
I don't think so.
When he went to the academy, did they make all of the students at the academy stay in the rooms?
I don't think so. From what
The purpose was? Go ahead, tell me.
it was something that had to do with prison reform. So he came. All this, they had like a lottery where only 10 students can come. They only actually let in like 6. Although the kids, we have one of our children that go here.
Yes.
It goes to the school.
You talked to him.
So first-hand experience, talking
Okay.
to the mother, what happened.
Okay.
The kids had to stay in the dorms. They fed them. They were in the dorms all day for the most part. Could not leave their dorms. Fed them in there. They brought in Blacks for Trumps, like about 100 some out of people that they knew would support Trump.
They staged the whole thing?
They staged the whole thing because they didn't want any booing, any protests. They had some protests, but they were like away from where he was.
Now, President, supposedly it wasn't the college that invited him. It was an outside organization. Is that correct?
That's what they're saying. Yeah. That
But how
outside
did he get to
organization.
use Benedict College then?
I think that some money was swapped hands or something because he was in South Carolina. South Carolina, he has a big base there. Some money had to swap hands. Put it that way.
Kardashian and Kanye West.
That's a speculation. Now the president hasn't.
My school wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I know. The college president hasn't come out and said much, but
The oldest wouldn't have done that.
you basically lock your students that pay tuition to go to the school. You cannot leave your dorm. You have to stay in here this whole entire time. We're going to feed you, but you got to stay inside your dorm. You cannot leave.
I'm telling you what would have happened.
I'm paying my money to
I'm
go
telling
there.
you what would have happened while I was chair of the university. He would not have been coming there under those conditions.
I know that's right. Yep.
You know that, and I didn't flex much when I was chair, but
Yeah. You flex that day.
it wouldn't have happened.
Somebody in the comments said, so they held them in the dorm prison to do
Yeah,
prison
that's
reform.
exactly.
That's what I was thinking. You basically locked them in their room and just said, don't leave.
They incarcerated him so he could come and talk about reform.
Are they getting credit for tuition credit for that day?
I don't. We probably not. Of course not. I'm paying my money to go to this school.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Y'all not paying me to come here.
And
I'm
they
paying
bring
you.
in an audience
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to. They don't want to hear what the children might say.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a rally,
Basically, yeah. Everything he does is a rally for the most part. Yeah.
and he brought in some African American looking people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
African-American looking.
Yeah. But again, right. Even if the school was allowing them to rent the building.
Why should the students?
Again, to me, there was some money.
Some kind of money.
We're going to pay y'all to come here. Let the president come. We're going to pay you the school X amount of dollars.
Where's Benedict located?
In Columbia, South Carolina. Go ahead. One of the girls that goes. I talked to her mom. She told me what happened.
It's in Columbia.
Mm-hmm. Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah.
We're getting ready to light this up.
Go ahead.
I don't understand
Go
that.
ahead. Me neither.
I'm having a problem.
Absolutely.
You come to my college. It's an HBCU. You speak at my college. You bring in some dark faces so it'll look like the students are there. But the actual students are told to stay in their dorms.
They let in 6 or 7, and that was it.
Because the students didn't want to go, first
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
The students did not
I
want to
think
go.
they, because you know the president's been having some boos, like when he went to the Nationals game.
Yeah.
They booed and yelled, lock him up when they showed him on the camera.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see it?
That wasn't us. That was them.
And that was now.
Who did that?
He went to the World Series game.
Oh yeah, I heard
When
they
showed
booed
him
up.
when they showed him on the camera, they booed and started yelling, "Lock him up." He was smiling at first because he thought they was cheering him, and then when he found out what he was saying, so it was that UFC. He had some
No.
cheers and boos.
No.
Now when NASCAR starts booing him, that's when you know he's got a problem.
NASCAR booed him?
No, I'm saying if they do, that's when you know he's got a problem.
Go ahead, say. That would have hurt his feelings.
Yeah, he's going to be at the Alabama LSU game today, but they told the students to behave at the game. Now they didn't say don't boo; they just said behave at the
Man,
game.
Bishop Davis, how you doing this morning? I'm live on the radio program, and we trying to get some on the ground consensus about Trump at Benedict College.
Yeah.
You know the whole story on that? Now, hold. Can you call in, man? All right. Let me give you the number.
This is interesting.
I'm calling my friend.
We'll have understanding.
866-743-8267. Yolanda's gonna answer the phone. All right. I need to know.
There you go.
We need to hear
There's
what's
somebody
going on.
that's down there can explain more.
I got folk everywhere.
I know. I'm sitting there thinking the same thing. Like this is we over 561 and we're just.
Was it ghetto to
I
call?
love it. I love it.
He just called them on the air like, hello?
That's right. Let's get him on there. Let's get him on there. Bishop Eric Davis. Barbara and Rosalind, y'all hold on. We coming. We got somebody on the ground down there.
Oh my goodness.
What line, Yolanda?
Let's see what Facebook is talking about.
Facebook, they
4?
Try picking up 4. It came straight through the phone, but
Bishop?
Hi, Bishop. This is Roz.
All right, hold on, Roz.
Okay.
hey, Gaines, it came straight through the phone. We're so live.
Bishop?
The phone's connected to the.
Hello, Bishop? We coming. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning.
Hey, man, I got him, Yolanda. Brother, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing well, man. How
What's
are you
up?
doing?
All right, on point audience, this is His Episcopal Eminence from Columbia, South Carolina, the Word Church.
yeah, man.
Lord put him in my life a couple months ago,
Praise the Lord.
and it has been wonderful. This is Bishop Eric Davis. Welcome to On Point. Man, I'm so glad I know you this morning. I knew it wasn't happening without you being somewhere near the center of everything. So tell us, if you will, what's going on with the president and Benedict College.
Well, that was kind of an interesting situation because Benedict had already planned to have a discussion on criminal reform with the Democratic candidates, and so they were all scheduled to be there. And ironically, I think some of the power brokers that decided to kind of inject Trump at the last minute had to do with another faction of the African American community. In particular, I know one of the brothers that was involved is the president of the African American Chamber of Commerce. That I think is a base Republican. I think he aligns himself with the Conservative Party, right?
Okay.
So I think that they saw an opportunity to kind of capitalize on what was supposed to be a captive audience. But what happened, it got flipped. A number of things happened. Actually, one, I know for a fact that Kamala Harris pulled out because it just so happened
I'd heard
that I had another event with some pastors that a breakfast that morning, and she said she came to that meeting and said she purposely wouldn't go when Trump came in and she started to kind of rattle off all the reasons why, it's kind of hypocritical for him to come during that time.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other thing that they did that was a challenge is they would not allow the students to come.
Yeah.
So you're having it at a black campus, and this has been the discussion since it happened.
Mm-hmm.
The students essentially protested because they were literally locked in their rooms. Either they had to be 7 miles away from the campus or they had to stay in their dorms. Which
Wow.
You wouldn't have done that at Penn State. You wouldn't have done that
No.
at Harvard. You wouldn't have. So what really was the intent? How do you go? Think about that. If a presidential candidate had come to any college campus in the 60s where students are politically engaged, how are you going to tell them you're on a college campus they can't attend?
Mm-hmm.
So who were you targeting? So it
was a
kind
rally.
of is not. It's a rally. It was supposed to have been a rally. So the students could have been engaged with the Democratic candidates, but then when the president came, the whole thing got flipped. And so you even have administrators that had challenges with the whole thing, to the point that there's a little bit of blowback now on the president of the university.
Well, there should be.
Absolutely.
Because he had,
Yeah,
he
I
had to
agree.
give his approval. But the other thing is, his board had to tell him to go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That there was a faction in the black community that put pressure. It's actually a female on her, and it's all politics. I mean, literally, it's politics, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so the political gaming that went on with that, because this has been planned for a long time, and really, honestly, for Benedict, it was pretty progressive. Because
Okay.
they've not done anything like that.
Okay.
Bringing the nominees in like that, I thought was pretty progressive for them.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole idea of in a collegiate atmosphere is the collegians. The students. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
so the idea that Trump would come in and offend those students like that by not even wanting to engage them, which is also, it just reveals so much. You take the Obama campaign where he targeted students. You never would have had an Obama come to a college. He targeted millennials, right?
Right.
So what does that say about Trump, who has his base in the Rust Belt and, Ohio, all these other places that, he pulls from basically conservative whites, and you purposely come to a black college campus to not engage black millennials. That just...
It blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's dumbfounding. So who was there? So now it's ironic because I was, I got a VIP invite, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even bother to respond because I thought it was a publicity stunt. Because it kind of reminds me. I remember we had a meeting when Nikki Haley was governor. I don't know if you all recall that.
Yeah.
She was also our governor, and she served as an ambassador for Trump. And I think she was smart. She got out of Trump's administration while everybody was getting locked up. She got out at the right time
true.
because
She
Nikki
sure
is
did.
really looking forward. I think she's going to eventually make a presidential run too. But Nikki did something very similar with the black pastors, where she kind of injected herself into something kind of last minute, try to call everybody together, all before she'd never really met with us, wasn't really concerned. But she later found out that in that meeting, she under the guise that it was something she was concerned about our community, but she had an agenda she was trying to push legislatively.
Wow.
So when we all came together, I asked questions. I asked some hard questions.
No.
But in the
No.
but in the end,
Not you, Eric. No.
But no, let me tell you what was crazy to me, man. In the end, it was all about a photo op. So everybody, we're in the auditorium. Everybody wants to take a picture with the governor. Come down, man. All these jokers go running down
No, they
to
didn't.
take this picture with Nikki. Now here's my point. And I said, I literally, man, I wish they had a camera. I'm the lone guy sitting back in the auditorium, watching all these black pastors gather around her, cheese and grinning. And my point is, you can't control where this image goes.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
This is what she needed. Now, whatever she does, campaign-wise, whatever agenda, she has your support now because your image is all gathered around her.
Yep.
So my thing is, why couldn't we see that? So there was no need, and there was never another meeting. There was not, because she had what she wanted. Same thing, I think, with Trump.
Y'all see why I like this boy?
Yeah.
My man, go ahead.
So it was a photo op, man.
Yeah, man.
And so I'm like, nah, you ain't get me in no pictures, none whatsoever.
Do something for me,
because I
Bishop.
can't control.
Do something for me before you go. A lot of people up this way are not familiar with your ministry. Just briefly tell us about the Word and also tell us some of the stuff you're doing.
Word of God Church and Ministries will be turning 20 years old next year. You know, here in the South, we're about a 500,000 population city. We're about 5,000 of that. You know, we're a true urban ministry because 20 years ago, my mantra was the urbanization of the South, because a lot of Northeasterners come from the South, they retire, and then they move back because it's a lower cost of living here. So what we saw trending in the South, or I saw trending in the South, because our church started from real street evangelism and going into urban communities. But our urban is different. It used to be different from your urban. But what we saw was going to happen as those Northeasterners came back. They brought grandchildren with them. They brought family with them, and it began to change the dynamics of the South. Well, we weren't ready for that because 20 years ago we were still straight traditional Baptist, predominantly church. And so, it was Methodist, Baptist, but now in the onset of the non-denominational, storefront-oriented churches, the whole paradigms of our southern cities began to change. So we were kind of a forerunner because we saw it before it began to happen.
Okay.
So it kind of put us in this niche where before we looked crazy to everybody because we were bringing the gangsters, the thugs, the hoochies, so to speak, in, and they were getting delivered. They're getting regenerated. But then now those people are leaders in our church, and we're kind of known for being that urban church. So we follow the bus line. So instead of building traditional steeple churches, we bought plazas that were in deprived or depressed urban areas and renovated them. So we have 2 campuses here, both in those kind of areas, in economically depressed areas, and we're kind of an oasis in the desert. Bishop came in. Our A campus is about 21 acres, 140,000 square feet, where we're actually building a sports complex to make that point.
Sure.
We're building a 3-court indoor football field, 36,000 sports complex in an urban area, literally on the bus line. And then our B campus was our original campus, about 88,000 square feet, 8 acres. We've now turned that into the largest Hispanic church in the city.
Wow.
We incubated a Hispanic church. So we do a lot of urban ministry here, a lot of outreach.
Wonderful, man.
Nice.
Wonderful. And you got that STEM thing working.
STEM thing, yeah, man. We early bird. We went to education for elementary age kids. My backdrop is engineering. I'm a former corporate engineer. So God gave me a vision to bring STEM back to the urban communities, and we're really excited because we're actually working up your way, on a national corporate sponsor that should be locking in. That's going to help take this thing national, man, and we're really excited about that.
Wonderful, man. Well, I'm glad you could come on with us and give us some explanation, but also tell a lot of people about what I think is one of the finest ministries in the South, in the country. But if you live anywhere near Columbia, South Carolina, you need to go on over. Just a few weeks ago, one of our staff people, Yolanda, was down to see her family, and she came to your church on Sunday morning worship, man. She said it was a great experience, man.
Yeah, we were happy to have her, man, and can't wait to get the bishop back. Blessed us, man, and told us that we were left-handed and all kind of stuff, man. So we discovered some things about ourselves.
Yeah.
So no, it's a pleasure, man. I thank y'all for having me. Now, y'all didn't give me any context in terms of the discussion. You just threw me in.
Well, that was it. We didn't know what we were talking about, and I wanted somebody that knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was wondering.
Now, you know I wouldn't do nothing to hurt you now.
Right.
I wouldn't do nothing to hurt you.
I know, man. I know. Bless your heart, man. I appreciate you.
Talk to you, man.
Bless you, man.
All right, man. God bless.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That was Bishop Eric Davis, Word Church, Columbia, South Carolina, doing a lot of great things.
Yep.
You live anywhere near Columbia, South Carolina, you owe it to yourself to go up in there. Phenomenal worship, phenomenal teacher, preacher, great organization. The people are wonderful. You need to do this thing. Let's go to Barbara. Hey, Barb. Barbara. Okay, we don't have her. Let's go to Rosalind. Well, that's not her either. Roz.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. Welcome to On Point.
Thank you.
Doing great, girl.
Yeah.
What's happening down in Texas?
Oh, it's got a little chilly today. I think we're down in like 60 something.
Girl,
oh
stop
God.
stop talking. Stop talking, girl. Stop
That's
talking.
Texas chili.
That's Texas chili. Stop talking. It's got a little chilly. It's in the 60s.
Right.
We got these sweaters on up here and hoodies and everything. Girl, come on.
Yes, I am still in a t-shirt. But I'm a little chilly. I was thinking about putting a long sleeve t-shirt.
Oh my
T-shirt.
We're suffering so mightily today. What's your comment, daughter?
I was listening to you talk about the locking the students down,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just wanted to, that's not unusual when the president's on an installation, regardless of what they do is they do screen who they're going to send or who the audience is going to be.
Okay.
And they do that maybe 2 or 3 days before he arrives
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And then everybody else, you're on lockdown. That happened many, many times, especially when I was stationed at Hickam.
Okay.
Because former President Clinton used to come all the time to Hawaii.
Okay.
And if you weren't a part of the audience, you got locked down. You either got locked down in your house, you got locked down in your office. And when I said lockdown, you can't leave. We had to close blinds until we got the all clear. Even when if his route was public, if it was public how a president's moving, you get locked down in your hotel or the building where you're in.
Yeah, I've experienced that before.
Yes. So to lock the students down is not unusual for security purposes.
Now, do they turn
your audience is another thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Do they turn
And
the
that's
audience into a rally type of thing?
No, normally in my experience, and I did this visit maybe about 8 times.
Okay.
Anyone who wanted to go, who signed up, they would say, okay, we're only limited to 500 or 200 or whatever the case may be. Whoever the first 500 was, they got to go. They didn't say you had to be Republican, Democrat, black, white, male, female.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little different. But
Yeah, I thought so too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point that out and just say good morning.
Good morning.
Still watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, I plan on being there for Power of God this year.
Come on, girl. Come on.
Yes, I'm hoping I can get my pastor to come.
That would be wonderful.
I think he's a younger version of you.
Okay. He'll enjoy the week.
Yes, he would. And the other thing is I got Kingdom Guard up and running at Tremont Temple Church.
Did you? Go ahead, girl.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and one of your listeners a couple of weeks ago made a comment, and I said, that's what I do. I go to church before I go to church on Sunday. So I listened to your 8 o'clock service.
Okay.
Pastor Nikki was on point. You've been on point.
Of course.
And then I go to church. So I just want to say I love you, and then I'll see y'all in June.
Stay strong here.
See you, Ross.
See you
Okay,
soon.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Rosalind, used to be with us. She lives in Texas now, but she will be back to the convocation in June. You need to make plans to be with us also, as we are breaking the mold on Power of God once again, and we know it's going to be an inspiration to everyone that is able to attend. Now, Katie Hill resigns after leaked photos in her exit speech.
Typo, sorry.
She talked about double standards. I'm not sure why she was asked to resign.
I'm sure it was some people in her higher ups that asked her to resign.
But we've seen the men at least as bad a situation. And, you know, a couple years ago, it was revealed that they have a fund to deal with people that are offended when this type of thing happens. So to say she broke a rule, she was involved with a staff member, that's not consistent. Because they've got a fund to deal with an actual taxpayer funded source for complaints about this stuff.
Yep.
They've got a whole, I can't say legal, but they got a whole process of acknowledgement, protests, hearings, and settlements.
Yep.
Why wasn't she offered the same thing?
And hers was consensual too, right?
Yes.
That's what it was. It wasn't. I think that she's probably pressured from her higher ups, like we did with Al Franken.
Yeah. Who should have never resigned?
Never had to resign. This is my problem with a lot of liberals.
Okay.
So they preach a lot of tolerance, tolerance.
Absolutely.
But they're very intolerant.
Yes.
Don't judge, don't judge, don't judge. But they're very judging, though. And
The Republicans are the opposite. Judging.
Right.
But there's a whole lot of stuff that's okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. It just, to me, either somebody from the higher up said, "Look, just go, so we don't have to deal with this." But she was right. The men get away with a lot.
Absolutely.
Women, on the other hand, are held to a higher standard than men, and that's wrong.
It's like when Mrs. Clinton was running for president. The personality requirements for her were not required for any of the males running.
It's true.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Well, she's not warm. Reagan was warm. Give me a break.
I know.
You know, just she's not friendly. Huh? Trump's friendly?
Right. But that's the problem. The campaigns are more about likability than actual policy.
Unbelievable. That's why we're in the fix we're in right now.
It's about likability.
I can't understand who liked him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But he has a base that likes him.
So they got something interesting going on in California. They're testing universal basic income for low-income residents.
Yep. The Stockton mayor gave each low-income person $500 a month.
Okay.
And they study what they spend it on.
Okay.
They spend it on groceries, paying their bills, and going out in town doing stuff.
Right.
Which is helping
so they
the
boosted the economy of the town.
We out here bailing out big business. If you gave every American, say you gave every American $1,000 a month, or even gave them a lump sum or something like that, I guarantee you know,
they'd stimulate the economy.
The economy's going to be great. You know, I learned something last night about the American economy.
Okay.
And it makes sense. America's one of America's biggest cash cows to our economy is student loans.
Absolutely.
That's why when you file bankruptcy, your student loans don't go off your record.
Absolutely.
Because they're federal.
Yep.
So
keep funding the government.
Keep funding the government.
Absolutely.
So you can't go to, you're 18 years old, you can't go to a bank and get a $10,000 loan to start a business. But you can get $100,000 to go to college.
Because that debt ain't going away.
That debt ain't going nowhere, and you have to keep paying the government back.
You can bankrupt everybody else except the government.
Yep. And they are living off the back of student loans.
Absolutely.
Which to me, the overall college system, to me, I get you have to pay for college because you got to pay for teachers, you got to pay for dorms, all that stuff. But do we really have to pay almost $40,000 a year? Or even if you're not even living on campus. And some are high, well, depending on what school you go to. If
Harvard is like $50,000 a semester.
Yes. And even if you're not living on campus now, you're commuting and it's almost $20,000 a year.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you really, and then your basic requirements, do you really have to do all that? To me,
I think community colleges are filling a niche.
Absolutely.
And I believe it's another reason they have increased in their respectability. The type of professors. When I was coming up, community colleges didn't have that big a reputation. But now there are a couple community colleges that are recognized by the four-year colleges.
Absolutely.
As if we get your student, we're going to accept 90% of the classes that they took as full credit. So, you know, I saw that when I was involved. And I think the other thing that's really amazing about a good community college, you can save half the tuition going for 2 years and then going to a majority college.
I wish I did that.
You know, so you go from 10-10 instead of 40-40.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money.
A whole lot of money.
Especially you got to pay it back.
Yeah.
The rest of your life.
Right. Anytime you in your 70s still paying student loans back, I'm just saying, There are people out there, they're doing it.
Student loans at 70?
They're again, to get a certain job, sometimes you have to go back to school. So if you're going back to school in your 30s and your 40s, some people are in their 60s still paying loans back.
True. Let's go to the phone. Jonathan, Maryland. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Doing great, man. Welcome to On Point. So glad to hear from you.
Thanks to hear you guys talking politics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that, fuck politics, man.
Oh, brother.
Brother. No. Not on this one, Doc. You can have an open conversation, but we don't do that.
Jeez.
All right, I hear you. Well, all I'm saying is, we were slaves, only black people, you guys were fucking slaves.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Hey, Robin, how you doing?
That's our second one.
How's everyone?
That's our second call.
What, today?
No, second troll call we had since we've been online.
Is that a troll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In all these years, that's only the second one?
Yeah. That came up and started cussing and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
We made it, y'all. We made it. Yeah.
Okay, Robin, I'm sorry. Go ahead, girl.
Oh, no, that's okay. I said I had my timer on for a minute.
Well, praise the Lord.
Just wanted to comment, Pastor Nick, your message Sunday was so powerful that my spirit has been on a high ever since.
Wonderful.
Good.
Because the way that you taught about love, and Tamara happened to be
you
in
did
church
that one.
with me. Yes.
Switch it up a little bit.
Tamara had to be was there with me Sunday, and I'm so glad that she heard that message. But it was just so enlightening, and it really helped me. You know, I've been so high. My spirit's been so high. I snuck away and went to Miami after that message. I left that Monday and came back Wednesday. I needed to get away and just to, reflect on everything that you taught, but just to get away from everything and just have that time with God. So I really thank you. But Bishop, Pastor Nick, I have to get that DVD. Oh my gosh!
I heard it was good.
Hunter, yeah, he was. Oh my gosh, he was on fire. But I just had to comment on, Pastor Nick for Sunday, and just thank y'all both for all your teaching.
Now, Robin, you went to where?
Right.
You went where, Robin, to reflect on the message?
And spend time with Jesus.
You didn't go to Lancaster. You went to Miami
to spend time with the Lord. Right.
But
you couldn't find nowhere else but Miami to spend time with the Lord, Robin?
Look, 82 degrees. It was warm. I sat on the beach. I
spent time with Jesus. Yeah.
That's right.
that Lyft driver must be doing better than I thought, girl.
The flight was only 96 round trip. But now,
don't talk about it. We got it. We got it.
You can get $15.
Yeah. You went down Miami. Go ahead. Don't tell us the rest of the story.
Don't on South Beach. Yeah.
Don't tell us the rest.
What happens in Miami?
I'm gonna get Danny on the phone next. See if he saw you down there.
Y'all have a blessed day.
All right, now talk to you. Bye. Danny, how you doing, bro?
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning. How you doing today?
Doing fine, man. What's going on?
All right. Good morning, Pastor Nick, staff, and everyone. I'm just observing. I'm trying to be a little observant here again.
Oh, Lord. Here come the shade, Joe.
Right.
I see that. How's the weather up there today?
As you can see, we're over-attired. We have on sweaters and hoodies, and Pastor Nick has hot coffee up here, and just,
It's supposed to snow next week, too, I think. Did he say that?
Yeah, we're dressed for the inclemency of the weather at this particular moment. So you're suffering under what temperature right now, Danny?
Yeah, well, we had a cold front to come in, so we're down in the 80s now. I get the
cold front.
Lower 80s.
A little breeze came in.
Yeah, we have a
He
breeze.
said we got a cold front. We got the 80s going on.
So I'm just waiting for the time when I can turn the air conditioner off, and open up the windows. But
Yes, I just want to, comment on what everyone's been saying. Y'all doing a wonderful job, great job, and what have you. And I just want to give an update as to what's happening down here.
Okay.
Miami-Dade County, last week, what they started doing, they passed a law in the state of Florida that if you're an ex-felon, if you have paid your sentence or your time, whatever, that you will be given back your right to vote. Okay. Well, the governor was trying to block that, and he didn't want the ex-offenders to be able to vote. But Miami-Dade County, last week, they started the process of reinstating the rights for those that are in that county to go ahead and vote again.
Do you have a Republican governor in your state?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. Have they recently published a number of inmates that have returned to the system already? Returned to society already?
No, it's a large number, and it's a system that they have where it's a system that is making money off of those prisoners that are in, and it's a political type thing where our ex-sheriff that we had here in Broward County, which is north of Miami-Dade, they were against him because of the system that he had, where he told his officers that the young men that were having problems, and if it was a minor problem, do not give them an arrest. Put them into a system where they could go ahead and rehabilitate them. But then they were upset with them because of the system that was making money off these young men going into jail.
Okay.
So
am I thinking contextually correct to say that this particular law has been in place for how many years that would restrict returning citizens from regaining the right to vote?
It's been on the books for a couple of years now, since the last election. So what he was trying to do was block it. He said that he did not understand. It was not clear as to what the lawmakers were saying, but it was perfectly clear. He was trying to block it, but they're not going with it.
Yeah. One of the celebrities I saw went down to Florida and was going to start paying off some of the individual's debts for him. Yep.
Okay.
Went down there and it's going to advocate and help them pay their stuff off. I can't remember which one though, because that's how Gilliam, when he was running against him, was trying to get.
I remember.
Florida.
That is right.
People think everything of Florida. We think Orange Juice, Disney World, a great place.
Yep.
And not realizing that Florida's a place where people running for governor, the Republican can call the black Democrat runner a monkey and still get elected.
Mm-hmm.
This goes to show you how
in Florida.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And the way that if you remember, and it has a historical type setting where time and time again where presidents are elected because of the state of Florida, because of the way that they were counting the votes. Mm-hmm. When it goes in the Republicans' favor, it's okay. But when it goes in the Democrat favor, then it's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And it all stems back to the same situation, the way that they count the votes.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, electability and getting elected.
Yeah.
My goodness. How's my sister doing? She all right?
She's doing great, and I just want to say that someone called, I believe it was from Texas, and they were saying that they're preparing now to be for the get-together in June.
Yes.
Well, I'd like you to know that your sister, she's getting her things together. She's getting us financially and spiritually ready to be there as well.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good.
Wonderful. We'll take good care of her all week long. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the whole week.
Wonderful.
Praise the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Danny.
Well, thank you, Bishop. Wonderful job, staff, everyone. We love you.
Talk to you soon, man.
Take care, brother.
Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. So Sally Mae executives took over 100 employees to Hawaii to celebrate $5 billion in sales.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much the trip cost.
Right. They took them out there to celebrate.
To Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Basically to celebrate how much debt they helped create.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They're in the business of debt. It just is what it is.
Wow. $5 billion in sales. So they had a good year.
A very good year. And I want, again, everything's politics and money. You have other loan services, but why is Sally Mae the biggest one? Unless they're in cahoots with somebody, made some deals behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Where they're actually probably the biggest student loan company business
Absolutely.
out there.
Absolutely.
And then they try to change their name to Navient.
Oh, the name change?
You know, still the same company.
Trying to change the brand.
Yeah.
So NCAA, some states are allowing the players to make money off their images.
Yep.
Now, where was I? When did that start?
That happened.
I knew the
3 weeks
conversation
ago.
was being had, but
California was first.
okay.
And other states are going to follow. Where you're going to promote these kids and use their image, you got to pay them for it.
Now, I was unaware that the state could dictate what the NCAA could allow.
Well, that's where the fine line comes in. And that's where it's going to go into the court of law properly, because NCAA is going to
They're going to fight that.
They're going to fight this, but at the same time, so Mitt Romney,
Yeah.
I think it was Mitt Romney, said that, he said students shouldn't be able to make money off their image because it's not fair to the other students that some kids could afford a Ferrari and other kids can't afford a car. I thought this was a capitalist.
Absolutely.
But isn't that capitalism?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's not my fault I can make a lot of money off of this. And Mitt Romney, bruh, of all people, as much money as you have, why is it that as soon as it comes down to, let's be real here, young black men that can make a lot of money, all of a sudden capitalism ain't right?
Because if you're performing, you're acceptable, and you're not being paid, that's the position we're comfortable with you in that position psychologically. But for you to make money, for you to be included in the flow of revenue, finally, something's wrong with that.
Right.
Well, no. I don't think a university should make all the money off your image, and you walk around trying to figure out where your next meal's coming from.
Absolutely.
It makes no sense to me.
And the way that their schedules are, you can't work like that.
And plus, a lot of these kids come from backgrounds where they're going to immediately have to start helping the parents who are straining to get them to school.
Yeah. The Ohio State just had to suspend one of their defensive ends. Going to be a first-round pick.
Okay.
Because a family friend gave him a loan. A family friend. They found out about it. This happened, I think, last year. And he
gave him a loan for what?
It didn't say for what, but a family friend. You're already at the school already. How's a pen gonna make you change your mind and sign a contract for?
So what they should have done, instead of what they want you to do, is Aunt BB gives the money to your mother, so it look like it doesn't come from Aunt BB, and then your mother can give you the money.
Right. Yeah. But
that's not a booster.
No. It's a family friend gave you money, and the guy said, "I paid the money back. It was a loan." This is trifling.
I know. Who is it? I got
Anthony.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Your Grace. How are you?
I didn't call to start.
Hallelujah. Glory.
Oh, here we go.
I feel the anointment on the air now.
See what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Bishop, good morning.
Hey, man, how you doing?
And to Nick Goodell, what's
Good
up?
Nick Goodell. Oh, Nick Goodell.
See, I got to throw shade at him every now and then.
Yeah, I know.
What's happening, man? How you doing this morning?
I'm all right.
This must be the Bishop's hour. We got two of them this hour.
Oh, I just want to make it clear it wasn't me that was sending the little hecklers in and whatnot. It wasn't me.
You sure?
You sure? Right.
No, I wouldn't do that. But listen, I was thinking about something when you I don't know how far ahead your guys are or how far behind I am, but the conversation about student loans and whatnot and inmates. Am I correct in saying that when guys go into the correctional facilities, is it true that they get they get a pretty good education when they go in there?
They can.
They can. They make those things available to them. But you don't need student loans to get that, right?
Nope. Just need to be incarcerated.
Wow. But the other thing is, when they come out, you can't really do anything with it. It's just a piece of paper.
No. They're qualified to do some stuff. The difficulty is that they've been in jail.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. They can't get hired. Most of the time, they can't get hired.
Which is why people returning citizens must become entrepreneurial because that type of background examination is not necessary to start a business.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just was thinking about that. That's all. That's all I
that's
called
it?
for. That was it. I just called in. No trouble.
Wow.
No trouble at all. I don't know who answered the phone. I told him, just tell Miss Anthony. Don't even put the title on there, anything, because I knew.
We have to honor your title.
That was Evangelist Gambrell.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I called for. I was just wondering, these guys when they or women who get a chance when they go to correctional facilities, they make education available.
Mm-hmm.
But it amazes me that education is not available at a better rate while we're out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a lot of inequities like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's almost pretty much like it's a small mortgage.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it
Pay
really
that
is,
money
yeah.
back. I mean,
Yeah.
my son went to Moravian College. It was $50,000 a year. If he didn't have half of that paid for in scholarships, man, I had a strong suggestion that he should go to Montgomery County Community College.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Because now he's paying somewhere around about almost $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month
For student loans?
For student loans.
Wow.
Yep.
I had no idea they were that high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he got the pretty good rates. He got great rates or whatever, interest rate or whatever.
Yep.
But it's high.
Yeah.
And now that's a small private college, and the benefit of that is that the kind of people that came to recruit him is got him into a pretty good job and position right now. But I mean, you are going to be paying those things back for the rest of your life.
Wow.
So what you said about going to community college makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are thinking that it's sometimes they think it's not a good idea because they feel like going to community college seems to be a downgrade on educational status.
It depends on the school. It really does.
Yeah.
Montgomery County is good. Camden County is one of the top 3 in the nation. There are some community colleges that have traditional level curriculum, professors, advisors, standards. I know when I was affiliated, there was a chain coming from certain 2-year schools to 4-year schools. They had relationships.
Yeah.
And most of the progressive 4-year schools are establishing relationships with the real good community colleges so they can get their students, and the students don't have to back up when they come. They can just keep on matriculating like they've always been at the 4-year.
Wow. Well, that's good then. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on that. That was it.
All right, man.
No more, no less.
Talk to you.
All right.
Preach well tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show live. David G. Evans 1 on any smart device, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. Now, what's going on down at Clark, Atlanta?
Yeah, the big story was a young woman was found dead yesterday. So the belief is this. Last week she put in a report that her roommate's boyfriend sexually assaulted her.
Okay.
A week later, they find her dead, and the suspects they believe are the roommate and the roommate's boyfriend. So the roommate basically said, I took her to the store, and she never came back.
Okay.
And then the roommate all week, help me find my friend. No, she's missing. Da 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 da. And they come to find out
It was them.
They're the chief suspects.
I don't blame them.
Now here's my dilemma in this.
Okay.
Is this people always say, if you're sexually assaulted, come forward.
Right.
Right. You should, but you can't take away the difficulty of somebody speaking up. Number one, you got to worry about, am I going to be believed?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, some people like this woman, it cost them their life.
Yep.
I'm not saying you shouldn't come forward, but the school did nothing too when she reported this. The law enforcement did nothing when she reported this. So that goes back to that overall discussion of, like when we were talking about Kavanaugh and Ford, when women come forward about this stuff, I think you got to kind of take it seriously. I'm not saying you arrest anybody immediately, but
I think the problem is most people don't know how to have the conversation.
Okay.
To sift through, because it's a sensitive conversation.
Yeah.
To sift through if you're dealing with an actual issue,
right,
or you're dealing with an emotional reaction that comes from rejection.
Right.
Those are the two things you really have to get to.
Yep.
and that's a sensitive conversation.
Absolutely.
And most people don't know how to have it.
That's true.
So you have to have a conversation that does not belittle the supposed victim,
Right.
but at the same time surfaces the realities of the situation.
Yeah.
It is a dangerous conversation, and not just emotionally,
Yeah.
psychologically,
Yeah.
but it can be had. But a lot of people just don't know how
They
to
don't
do
know.
it.
Yeah.
So the person ends up walking away feeling like,
Yeah.
what I should have kept my mouth shut and all that other nonsense. But no, and these colleges have to do a better job.
Absolutely.
But that has to be intentional also.
Yeah.
We have come to the end of another program. I want to thank all of you all for joining us on Point today. For Reverend Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. See you next week from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here, David G. Evans 1 on Point. Y'all have a good day.